Pajamas are forgiving. This is Twinkle Khanna's book review. Sankalpita Singh has given us this in book reviews, drama, books, fiction. So here is it for you. The plot rating is 3.5 out of 5. Characters 3.5 out of 5. Writing style 4 out of 5. Climax 3 out of 5. And entertainment quotient is 4 out of 5. So, as the review said, my musings, I have read and enjoyed Twinkle Khanna's very first venture into books. Mrs. Funny Bones was a book that resonated with me, and I happily gave it 4 stars in rating. I somehow did not pick up her second, The Legend of Lakshmi Prasad, but landed straight on to her third, which is Pajamas Are Forgiving. Read on to know more about my thoughts about the book. What to expect? Pajamas Are Forgiving is a drama whose story revolves around love, marriage, infidelity, longing, and divorce. There is a good message to be learned from the book, especially when it comes to falling and giving yourself in love. Love is a beautiful thing, but when it comes at the price of losing oneself, it is never worth it. What is the story all about? The book is an unusual story set in an equally unusual location. Pajamas Are Forgiving takes us to a remote Ayurvedic holistic ashram in Kerala, where a 40-something Anshu comes in search of freedom from the doshas that plague her. Her fast-paced Mumbai life with its own struggles and topped with generous amounts of food and poisoned air doesn't help much when it comes to keeping her body ailment-free. Shantamaya Sthalam, with its quaint but highly efficient menon, is Anshu's go-to place whenever her heart seeks peace and her body seeks rejuvenation. Over the years, she has been a regular face amongst the multitude of people who flock together seeking Menon's legendary Ayurvedic therapies. This time, however, there is just a slight twist. Amongst the inmates is in the 28-day cutoff from the outside world course are her ex-husband Jay and his unnaturally young ex-mistress, now turned wife Shalini. Shalini is everything that Anshu isn't: young, plastic, beautiful and thin. Shalini, who took her husband when she was starting to get used to marriage and its many eccentricities. Even though it has been more than a decade that the two separated, and she cannot help but notice how her heartbeat still takes a leap every time Jay looks at her or comes in close proximity. That is the story of Anshu and her tryst with the past which refuses to go away. Let's talk about the characters. From the main characters, including Jay, Anshu and Shalini, to other side characters like Lalit, Vivan, Javed, Menon and Jenna, each character beautifully imagined and developed. There is a kind of depth in each of them, and I like how the characters are so practical and realistic. The author's writing style. Now, Twinkle Khanna writes in an effortless manner. She makes good use of wit and humor and sprinkles them generously throughout the narrative. She has a way with words. Her English is impeccable, melodious, and yet effortlessly so. Even though the book uses a fancy language, reading it after the first few pages becomes as natural as breathing. There isn't an iota of pretentiousness in her writing, and that is why I like the most in this book. For me, it is her writing rather than her storytelling abilities that make this book a good read. How good was the climax? The climax of Pajamas Are Forgiving was quite satisfactory. It would be unfair to suggest that it was unpredictable. On the contrary, way before the story was nearing its conclusion, it was pretty obvious as to how the book might end. This doesn't mean that it wasn't good. In my opinion, it gave a befitting end to the story of Anshu, and that is what matters to me as a reader. What I like the most, if one chooses to carefully read the book, there is a good chunk of information about doshas, Ayurveda and Ayurvedic therapies that one can learn just from reading this book. Also, I particularly enjoyed the unique setting of the ashram and the vivid and meticulous details of running a holistic healing center. Also, as already stated, Twinkle is away with words, and her flawless writing is undoubtedly the best thing about this book. What I did not like The story doesn't have a lot of excitement going on. Towards the middle, Pajamas Are Forgiving sinks into monotony and the story almost comes to a standstill. Anshu's many escapades and encounters with her ex-husband become dull, repetitive, and lackluster. I'm glad the book is a short read because had it been any longer, I suppose the part that would have been stretched to accommodate the increasing pages would have been the one I disliked the most. There are also a few instances where Twinkle Khanna takes a jibe at the various aspects of Hindu religion and its customs. Unfortunately, cultural sensibilities is still not considered while penning books meant for mass readers. I could not help but feel a tad disappointed with the author. It all boils down to the entertainment quotient. Pajamas Are Forgiving doesn't lack an entertainment quotient. It is a quick, short, and easy read that is equal parts entertaining, equal parts inspiring. So Anshu's story has a lesson for everyone. It'll be a shame not to witness the beauty of Twinkle's writing firsthand. Pick up the book if you want to read a light and refreshing read. If you enjoy dramas, skip the book. If you don't enjoy dramas, can't wait to read it, then buy Pajamas Are Forgiving. Other books you might like related kind of stuff is Pancakes in Paris by Craig Carlson, Gauri by Satya Sam. Thank you for listening. Julie by Julie Welland. So if you'd like to hear more, do look into related links available at my email is ritamwariyer@gmail.com for more summaries.